Deal Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. It has been a very long time. My name's Jack Timms. I'm joined by Oscar Brennan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So for the past couple of weeks, I've not been posting anything on YouTube. As I mentioned, if you do follow me on social media, either on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, I did mention that I wouldn't be posting on YouTube because I finished the production of the documentary. So for all this time, I've been editing the documentary. I've just released the trailer. It's on YouTube. Oscar, what did you think?
I thought it was great, actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Looks really professional. You've got the letterbox anamorphic widescreen, which was very extreme. And yeah, no, it looked really professional, actually, really well done. See what the actual thing's like. Obviously,
the actual documentary is better than just the trailer itself. But I incorporated a lot of new visual effects that I've been learning, and that's actually something which I'd like to say as well. So I've been learning a lot of visual effects in this time quite recently. So I was bored at one point because, you get to a certain point where you don't really feel that creative. So what did I do? I started to binge watch Film Riot and Corridor Digital on YouTube and just started analysing and studying all their visual effects in the hopes that I could create my own. And I believe it's turned out pretty good. If you look on my Instagram, you will see that I've posted some little things, little achievements which I've done. Things like some demon eye effects, the Earth as a planet, and the sun. Mm-hmm. So I think they're pretty good achievements in my book. Yeah. I like the demon eye effect so much. I actually did it for a friend. I found a friend's picture of mine that I knew from the British International School of Shanghai when I was in China. And basically she took a picture of her and her friend. I think it was their graduation. And they just had the perfect expression that I basically took the chance to modify their expression and turn them into demon vampires, and I sent it to my friend, and she loved it so much that she put it in her story and shared it with her friend. Mm-hmm. I think it brought joy to her during this time. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's good. Yeah, I saw that up here somewhere, probably on your story.
So what have you been up to, Oscar?
Been doing a lot of work. Been doing bits and pieces, bit of editing, bit of music making, bit of filming occasionally, little bits and bobs. Had to do like a...
Oh yeah, how's Agent Brennan doing? How far into that are you?
Yeah, it's coming along good. I've just got to do the music basically now, and then it's pretty much sorted. I've done all the green screen scenes and I made backgrounds for them, and some of them are looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. Just got to do the music and then just do the finishing touches, and we're sorted.
So when will we be expecting the release date for that?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's could be a week, could be a month. You know what I mean? It's like depends how long it takes to do everything.
Do you want to? Because all I'm asking is do you want to do it so that you produce one and then release it, or is it like you're going to try and stock produce them and then release them independently?
I'll produce all of them and then before any of them are shown. But it probably won't go public, I doubt.
Wow.
Just because of their ages and everything, You got to think.
To have it as children, set to the children then.
Yeah, you could put it on children mode. I don't know. I'll have to see.
So a lot of, I guess, a lot of things. I believe I told you about I think it was last episode in the podcast I was discussing about how like I would carry on the bridge as kind of like like a series of short films. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I think I called it The Path. So I've been working on that and writing various other short films as well. So I've just been developing the story a bit.
Yeah, I look forward to being part of that.
Yeah, so that'll be good, but probably won't be ready for a long time yet. But I hope you'll be available for contact when it is. And obviously, even if you aren't in the film for a short time, I think creatively it'd be amazing to like have you like by my side and probably help me regarding like maybe directing or
Sure.
camera assisting.
Sure thing.
Various bits, because I think when I do it, I'm gonna have it be like a proper production. So
Yeah.
I'll have a bit of money aside to pay people, and yeah. Speaking of which, I actually got paid £90 for the story time with Mrs. Tim's series that I did for her.
Oh, really? What, from your mum or from advertising?
From my mum. She paid me £90 for my services as an editor and an animator.
That's very nice of her.
It was very good. But you do what you can when you're stuck in quarantine, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I got some money off an American company to license some footage to them. They sent me like $400 or something.
Oh gosh.
So that's come through now, so that means it will be featured. I just need to work out where to watch it.
That converts to like, what, 300 and something pounds, doesn't it?
It was about 320 quid, yeah.
Decent amount of money.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, what was I going to say? I was saying with the bridge thing, we could, if you did it professionally, we could actually record episode 1 again. And make it even more professional.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to think that I was going to have the bridge that we did before as kind of like the origin of the story, and we'll do another episode. Like, so it'll be a different episode. There'll be more of a HQ, and there'll be the location where it's time based. So I think the series in of itself will be called Portals, and it'll be kind of like the I guess you know how what was it, the show Primeval was, where they have like lots of different scenarios where this anomaly kept appearing. Well, basically it's going to be like that, but instead of anomalies there'll be portals, and there's the whole kind of aspect of time and dimensions and all these other things involved, which I think is going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, there's also going to be kind of this idea that older versions of characters accidentally meet their younger versions of them, and there's a whole backstory behind it all. But yeah, it'll be set up in the first episode, and then I think there'll be either 2 or 3 episodes after that. So it's kind of, we'll redo the first episode, so it'll be Portals the Bridge, Portals the Path, Portals the Portal, and Portals the World. So yeah, the last one will be probably the biggest short film from that series. It's kind of like the Avengers Endgame of things. It'll be like the big bang to finish it off.
Okay.
And I think if we advertise it well, it could be probably a really great crowd-funded project. Obviously, if we just like properly get the story written, I'll probably have a couple of friends help me as well to get there and put on it. And we'll make this into a really good thing. But like I said, it will be in the future sometime, but I'll obviously be adding to it, and yeah. But it'll be fun. And yeah. Okay, so I think let's dive into the nitty-gritty aspect of this episode, being we're stuck in this situation, being locked down, COVID-19. Obviously now the situation is kind of lifting slightly, but the topic still remains how do you suppose the whole kind of new grading system that has been put in place for this kind of specific situation will affect our future as students?
Well, I mean, lots of students will get a lower grade than what they might do in an exam. Like, if I were in that situation, I've actually done all my exams now, but if I were a year behind, then I would probably receive lower grades than I actually did in the exams, because I'm, appear to be quite good at exams. So even though I'm not performing that well in the class, I can actually do quite well in exams. So I actually end up getting higher grades than I ever expected I would, and that wouldn't have happened if it was pre-planned sort of thing. So that's something that could affect people, but it could also be beneficial to people who aren't so good at exams. And it's going to be different for me now that I'm going to university, because I took a year out, but other than the other people who took a year out, there are going to be everyone else that goes there this year will have likely not had to do any A-levels or not actually sat the exams. So they could be behind on content, they could be not as hardworking, could be less motivated, they've had an extended holiday, no exams, they've also gone through a bit of a tough emotional time maybe, because the exams just 1 minute were happening, next minute they weren't. So for me, it could be strange going into university with lots of people who've been in that situation. But yeah, obviously you're actually in the year group that's going to be directly affected. So what's your opinion on it? How are you thinking it's going to adapt and change?
Personally, I'm not really sure, because I've already applied for my university. I did that quite in advance. I'm applying for the University of South Wales, and it was kind of a shock when this whole situation came down, especially when I was hearing that universities are affected as well. So obviously I did my own research into it and wanted to actually find out if things were going to be affected regarding how my grade would be received by the university. And obviously, UCAS, they're very supportive, so they've said that there's no pressure for us students, so that even if we continue to go to university and do or don't get the grades that we wanted or were initially hoping to get, it won't really matter, because they'll base it as a fresh start for everyone. And obviously I will be able to find out more, because I think it's on Thursday, so tomorrow they'll be doing a Q&A, like a Zoom Q&A at 2 p.m, so I'll be able to watch that and ask questions and get some answers back. Regarding, because I'm not even sure whether or not I'm physically going to university for the first term, or if it's going to be like a virtual Zoom thing that happens for about 3 or 4 weeks, or however long it's going to be. So obviously those questions need to be answered, and then hopefully at some point I will find out. So yeah.
I mean, my university that I'm going to be going to in September, they released an email yesterday to me, and I guess all the other students, which said that we will actually be starting in September, and they expect us on campus as previously predicted. Well, not predicted, but previously sort of planned. And they will sort of change up some stuff. They'll make it more socially distanced and everything, but we're still expected to be in Aberystwyth from September. So yeah, I suppose that's quite good news. I guess it means that's it's more certain now, because before there was a chance that I wasn't going to be going there until January. First of all, it was September is the date, and then this all came along. I'm like, oh, will it be September? Will it be January? Will it be November? How do I plan the rest of my year? So I put in sort of plans in case I couldn't go back in September. But now that I can go back in September, I can, at least I've got a bit of certainty and I can reevaluate all my plans. But yeah, so it might be the case that you are going in September, like me.
Well, I guess you're lucky because I've still not got that uncertainty, but and I'm not getting a lot of I have been getting some feedback, but not a lot of feedback in terms of college, so that's kind of uncertain. But I do know that they're still working on grades, but I've still got to wait for that confirmation. But if you think that potentially there is a chance that I may be going back or going to university in September, then I guess here's me hoping. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that little topic that I needed to kind of discuss. I guess we can kind of outline it onto this kind of extension. Feelings about higher education and like university and like what kind of things you're either expecting or not expecting, and what kind of things you hope to get out of the experience. So if you want to start us off, how do you reckon films and things have like affected your kind of idea of what university will be like?
Well, I suppose there's those kind of series and films where they show university and they all cast a different picture on it, don't they? But I suppose I watched recently that comedy, I think Fresh Meat it's called, with Jack Whitehall.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That's funny.
Yeah. So that's one portrayal of university. So I guess at the moment, because I watched that recently, that's sort of what my brain is preparing for. But then I've also got in the back of my mind that is fictional still.
Yeah.
And although it'd be along those lines, it probably won't be the same. And I'm not going to be in a shared house like they were and stuff like that. But there are other portrayals in film of it being, a very good place, a very bad place, all sorts of different portrayals. So it's kind of a mix of all of them, I guess, and then also a bit of, take everything with a pinch of salt, and maybe it will just be how you'd expect it to be without the influence of the films. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, media has had a big influence on what kind of university will be like. But what do you suppose, like the real big question is kind of what do you expect out of the term Freshers Week? Like, do you think it'll be the same as it would have been, or do you think this coronavirus, COVID-19, will somehow affect it?
I don't think it will be entirely the same as it would have been, but I think it will be quite similar. I know my university have definitely put out a thing saying that they are planning lots of activities that will adhere to social distancing, but I read somewhere that they're planning on opening the pubs in July, and so if that's the case, then by September it's just gonna be normal. You'll be able to like fly and stuff.
Wait, so do you reckon that it's gonna be like drinking traditions are still gonna be on?
Oh, definitely drinking. I mean, people are probably drinking more because of lockdown. But whether it be in a big close-knit party or whether it be more spaced out, I'm not a sort of party person though. I'm more of a beer garden in the sun kind of person when it comes to drinking, I presume.
Nice. Kind of a classic jazz festival look.
Yeah, I suppose so.
With a picnic blanket.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sort of thing. I mean, yeah, outside, not too many people, a bit more sort of just chill.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on how do you think it's going to play out?
I mean, I hope it goes as good. I mean, because obviously films have like kind of, I guess, enhanced of my vision of what Freshers Week would be like, and obviously it's different to America's kind of version of what Freshers Week is. So, I mean, it's different because I'm not really sure what it's going to be like for this university. But what I do know is that my last university, apparently, because this is what they told me when I was going for an open day at the last university that I was potentially going to in Gloucestershire, was that the lecturers put you in a room, they switch off the lights, and they put booze in there and music on and basically get you drunk until you socialise and create contacts, essentially. So that's a bit...
In the dark?
Yeah, in the dark. So you don't know who you're going to potentially make friends with, and then they turn on the lights, and there's kind of equal diversity, I guess. So, but apart from that, I don't really know. Maybe it'll be similar for university in South Wales, but I'm not sure. All I know is that the Welsh are very good drinkers, and I definitely don't want to get on the wrong side of them when it comes to sport. I don't want to start fights with anyone. I don't really want to get on my enemy list.
Is that what you're concerned about? Well, I don't think that's, I don't think that's as common as you are suspecting. Like, maybe because you saw it once, you think it is that common, but it's not that common. And also,
well, I guess it's not, no, but it's something that I wouldn't want to get into, that situation. It's something that I wouldn't want to be in.
Yeah, but just don't support a team.
Moving on. Another thing of university is, like, obviously there's, I guess, not really like houses, but different forms of, like, things. Like, what do they call them? Like, not factions, or what do they call societies? Like, you can separate groups into societies, but I know that in some films they portray that as kind of like family homes. Like, if you're this society, you're kind of in this family, and basically all of the other societies don't mix up. What's your opinion on that?
It's not necessarily like that. You voluntarily choose which societies you want to join. So if there was a boxing one, you might want to join that. Or if there was like a walking one, you might want to join that. And then you make friends with the people in those societies. But you don't just stay away from people in other ones. The only reason that it might be portrayed like that is because people don't know the people in the other societies if they've never encountered them before. The reason that they're friends with the people in their society is because they've been to that society and they know those people. It's not a case that they all hate the other societies. And lots of people will be part of lots of societies as well.
I guess overall, what we've learned from this kind of experience is that films and TV shows, they portray universities in a way which probably isn't true. And probably when we go to university, it'll be a bit more fun and more academic than they let on to be. Probably less drinking than people will try, but I think it'll be quite normal.
Yeah, I think you'll get used to it within the first week or so, couple of weeks.
I'm just going to leave a note that the next episode, so I think next Wednesday, will be the live show finale. So we will have a live episode of the Real Deal podcast. It'll be streamed on Twitter and YouTube, I think. Or maybe just YouTube, who knows. But yeah, it'll be streamed, so I hope whoever's listening to this gets tuned in on that day. So I think it'll be roughly the same time that we started this, so 7 p.m. properly this time. So 7 p.m. and
Not 7:26 when Jack finally showed up.
Yes, 7 p.m. officially, and maybe maybe it will drag on a little bit, but that's because it's a live stream. So yeah, but anyway, guys, that is the end of the episode. If you have enjoyed, then please follow us on all our social platforms. If you enjoyed Oscar, then go follow him. If you enjoy me, then go follow me. And please do also follow and subscribe to the podcast if you're listening on either iTunes or Spreaker. My gosh, the Spreaker levels are off the charts. People are listening to us, but they are not following us. It is annoying to see the amount of people that are listening to us but are not following us. So can you please get on the one?
By follow, we mean follow on there and not follow me home.
Yeah. I don't mean that. I mean in
house.
terms of the follow the page aspect of things.
Yeah, just to clarify.
Yes, just to clarify. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. I've been Jack Timms. I've been joined by Oscar Brennan. You've been watching the Real Dude Podcast. Goodbye.
The Real Deal Podcast.